Nnamdi Kanu can no longer be coming to this court case from the DSS dungeon. Yes, and in fact, he should never have started this case resumption coming from the DSS dungeon, because there is no place in the Nigerian constitution that supports his incarceration, that supports his coming to the courts from the DSS dungeon. There is no place. In fact, throughout the night, I was going through a lot of legal files. I was going through the constitution, and I was also going through some framework and Nnamdi Kanu's case in the past years. And I found out that the DSS actually has no right to keep a suspect more than 180 days in total, of which the first 90 days should be an order of court. And if they are not able to gather evidence, they can approach the court to still grant them extra 90 days, of which 180 days is enough sufficient for the DSS itself to file a case against anyone under Nigerian law. Listen to me, I'm still coming. Calm down. Because lots of illegalities are going on in this country and nobody is talking about it. Everybody is just allowing it. That's why sometimes you see me accusing Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers of not testing some of all this his rights in court. You don't test these things in court. You can say, okay, that Nyako, that is a different scenario. And remember how it led Nyako. It led her to losing that case and the case being transferred to Omotosho. The first thing you should have done under Omotosho was to test those things that you tested under Nyako that you did not get judgment for. You test it again at the beginning, because that is why it was removed from Bita Nyako in the first place. Do you understand? Let me tell you what Nigerian Constitution says. Under the Nigerian Constitution, only a suspect, mark it, a suspect can be kept in the cell of the DSS. That is, a suspect that has not yet been charged to court. Once the person is charged to court, that means you have gathered enough evidence for prosecution now. The person is now dragged to court. Once the case file has been opened and the person pleads guilty or not guilty, that person becomes a defendant, not more a suspect. And under Nigerian Constitution, it is only the Nigerian Correctional Service, which is the Nigerian prisons, that have the right to hold a defendant. Do you understand? Not the DSS. Because he is now under the judiciary. So it is the job of the Nigerian Correctional Service, which is Nigerian prison, to hold Nnamdi Kanu at this time. In fact, after 180 days in the DSS dungeon, Nnamdi Kanu should no longer have been there. And at the resumption of this trial on March, that would have been the first thing that would have been done before the case resumed. And as it stands today, that should be the next thing that should be done before they can say, "Bim," in the next court case, before they start playing the Maradona game. Because the lawyers need to test these things. Don't just sit down there and be playing only one game. Test these things. This is an illegality happening between your faces. You are not seeing what I'm seeing. You're not seeing it. So I'm now opening it up to you that Nnamdi Kanu should stop coming to the court case from the DSS dungeon immediately. Immediately, because this is a rape of justice, a dehumanization of injustice. It should never have happened in the first place. To buttress this point, I'm going to read out some sections for you. I'm going to read out what the Constitution says about this, and you will be very, very shocked. Listen. Under Section 293 to Section 296 of the ACGA Act 2015, this law binds all federal agencies, including the DSS, that a suspect must be brought before a judge within 24 of 48 hours. Now listen very carefully. This is the legal basis for the DSS or any agency to detain a terror suspect. Listen very carefully. With a federal high court order. 1. Initial detention should be up to 90 days. Then renewal, which is only once, should happen for another 90 days if the initial 90 days wasn't sufficient enough to prosecute. Total maximum is 180 days. Now listen. Listen to this cash. It is not lawful for a suspect to be kept in DSS custody indefinitely while attending court for years. Once a suspect is arraigned in court, they are no longer in the investigation phase and should be transferred to the correctional facility, which is the prisons. Now listen. There are also legal implications for detaining someone beyond this 180 days. These are consequences of detention beyond 180 days. Number 1, it is a constitutional breach in section 35, subsection 4 to 6 of the Nigerian Constitution. Also, it is a violation of fair trial rights. A violation of fair trial rights because you cannot be in the custody of people who are suing you, people who are charging you to court. It is not balanced at all because anytime you go to court, you may not feel free to express yourself. By so doing, it is a hindrance to the administration of justice. And I've said this many weeks ago that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be testifying against the DSS, staying in the DSS cell. Cannot. Doesn't make any sense. It's a violation, of course, of fair rights hearing. So Nigerian law actually prohibits illegal detention in law and recognizes it as a violation of constitutional rights. As I told you, the Nigerian laws are there. But the problem is that in Nigeria, they do not listen or follow laws. And that is what I am talking about. That is why I am saying it here clearly. Most times they pretend they don't know those laws. And if you don't test the laws, they will not help you to test them. The international body are watching Nnamdi Kanu's case right now. His case is in the searchlight. The UN is watching, American government is watching, and the whole world is watching. Omotosho is on the spotlight. Lawyers, SANS, please. It is time for you to come out open now and fight this case with every legal power you have. I have given you lots of expo right now. I have exposed a lot of things for you right now. Start with this one. We have talked about how illegalities to adjourn cases without length of time and how illegalities for this adjournment to keep going for months. It is not in the Constitution and it is illegal. Today again, I am exposing this for you that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be in the DSS dungeon. It just cannot happen. He is not a suspect. He is a defendant in a case that is already in the judiciary. And the Nigerian government, together with the DSS, are people who are suing him to court. So how is he going to be in the custody of people who are dragging him to court? He should be in the right place. So keeping Nnamdi Kanu for this length of time in the DSS dungeon, it is a legal lapse on the part of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers. That is a real lapse. You guys should have known better than to allow this gross injustice to take place. Also, under the Constitution, the DSS is not even a place that is equipped enough to house suspects on the long term. The DSS is not even a place equipped enough with the right environment provided under the law to keep and house defendants who are facing trial in the court. In the long term, they don't have the facility. It is only suspects in the short term for a few days, for a month or two, then charged to court. They don't have the facility to support human life. For that reason, any place that does not support human life, does not support human interaction, doesn't support the well-being of mentally and socially of human being, that place is not an environment, it is actually a dungeon. And that is why you are hearing what they call DSS dungeon. So having said that, and somebody kept in the dungeon for years can have his mental health affected. And that is where we're talking about human rights violation, keeping people where they're not supposed to be. If you check that DSS dungeon, you will not see anybody, hardly, that has spent the amount of time Nnamdi Kanu has spent. You will not see one person. So what is the game? Is the game to mess up with his mental health? Or is the game to actually frustrate him, to frustrate his life? Be that as it may, the DSS under Nigerian Constitution is an agency that was made, created by law, backed by law. They have modus operandi. They have statutes that they operate within, and they have no right to go beyond or even beneath it. They are backed by law and they have their operations. If you go through their statutes and the acts that created the DSS, you will not see anywhere that the DSS has the right to take laws into their hands and do anything they like. They don't have that power. The problem we have in Nigeria, the problem we have as Africans, is that we are too scared of agencies under government. We are too scared of agencies that carry gun or carry knife or are under the government that are in security. We forget that these agencies also have laws that created them in the House of Assembly, and they are also answerable to the courts. So it is important that Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers start immediately on putting the next gear on this case, because it looks as if people that you are playing calm with, they are not playing calm with you. They have a mission, and their mission is actually to frustrate Nnamdi Kanu till whatever happens to him happens. And if that is what you want to take, that is not what Ndigbo want to take. Please, I have said it clearly. Nnamdi Kanu's case can no longer be tried from the DSS dungeon. It is over. His stay there is over. His stay there is over, please. It should come to an end. It should come to an end. If possible, this case should be summoned during this break for bail hearing. Summon this case for bail hearing immediately. And judges have the right, have the responsibility to listen to bail hearings in between adjournments. Yes, it's in the Constitution. Go and check it. Go and check it. It's there. So this case can be summoned anytime if only you, the lawyers, demand for that bail hearing immediately. I am tired of sleeping in the night, and I have dreams where I see Nnamdi Kanu in the dungeon, sitting alone, idle, looking at the walls, looking at the windows, looking at the ceiling for years. That alone is dangerous for the mental health of anybody. He's a human being. Don't say Nnamdi Kanu can overcome it. He is a human being like me and you. You should know that. You should know that. Flesh and blood is in his veins. He bleeds red. Who told you he's strong enough? Who told you he's strong enough to overcome mental health? Please, don't say that. He's a human being. Though he's a prophet, yes, but he's human. Even Jesus Christ bled. It's well. I know very well, gradually we are getting to the point where it will be clear for the world to see the gross injustice happening to Nnamdi Kanu. It will be clear for the world to see, because we are raising it here all the time, and I believe that the people are hearing, and the right things are being done, because at least Nnamdi Kanu is a human being. He has spent many years in the dungeon. He is still yet to be found guilty of any crime that he was accused of. And yet, he is still in the DSS dungeon like an ordinary suspect, rather than being in at least the prison facility, where the environment there at least befits of a human being, not in a box where he's being kept alone. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Turn on notification and select the bell that says all to get notified whenever we release a video. Spotters family, you are the best. I have been your host, Chi. Nay, do. Till I see you next video. Peace.